Kilo Cammy Hint, it's your boy Dio again. Oh, a little rain this morning, I guess, so the bike is a little wet. Don't have a towel, so I'm gonna just sit on it like that. My ass is gonna be soaked. Oh well, what can we do about it? It'll dry up, right? Oh, yep, all wet now. Woo! You guys want to hear her start up? I think you guys do. Alright, let me get out of here and then we'll continue this little video. Alright? Alright, guys, so I'm on the road. I gotta be a little bit careful. The ground is a little soiled. It's supposed to rain a little later, actually in about an hour today, so I'm really just going back down to the Bronx from Yonkers to put the bike away and cover it up. But I figured I'd bring you guys another video since, look at this. Look at these two idiots. Oh my God. That's how accidents happen, ladies and gentlemen. People being impatient. Anyway, so in my last video I spoke about is an MC for you. I kind of broke it down into, I think it was 4 or 5 categories. So in today's video I kind of want to go over the different levels. So if you choose to join an MC, what are the steps that you need to make in order to become a full patch member? Damn. Alright, so there's about 4 different steps, so 4 different levels. And I'm not gonna go into, once you're a full patch member, the different levels of the hierarchy, because that's a whole nother video. There's a ton to go over with that one. But I will break down the 4 levels before becoming a full patch member of an MC. So let's get right into it, guys. So level number 1, which is the basic, I guess this level is not even really a level. So we call these guys friends of the club. So these are people that have not formally or informally announced their interest in joining the club. So these could be people that maybe ride with the club every so often, or they know a full patch member, and they're close friends or friends in general, and they just kind of, they're friends of the club. So they're really around the club, but they haven't really formally announced that they want to be part of it, right? So this level, I mean, in this stage of the game, you could be a friend of the club forever, to be honest with you. There's no pressure from the club to push you into becoming a prospect or further up in the levels. So really at this point in time, really you're just kind of like, you're just a friend of the club. You hang around with them a little bit if you really want to. But again, the main distinct factor is that you have not made a statement to anyone in the club, informally or formally, saying that you are interested in joining or pursuing club life. That is the key differentiator, okay? So remember that. So friend of the club is number 1. So as a friend of the club, if you do want to become or start the process of joining the MC, you have to formally announce that you want to do that, either to any full patch member or to the president, whoever. It doesn't really matter, but you need to formally say that you are interested. And if that is the case, or when that happens, you go from being a friend of the club to a hang around. And this is the basic first level stage of it. Anyone can be a hang around. That's not, again, this is the basic of it. You could be a hang around and never make it to prospect. I've seen that happen before, so the main difference is now you've made the steps necessary to inform the club that you are interested, and that is the basic level, becoming a hang around. All right, so as a hang around, it's a little bit different than a friend of the club. Friend of the club, you could be there forever if you wanted to, and never show any interest in joining the club, and the club will still respect you and invite you for certain things. But as a hang around, now you've shown interest, now you want to be involved in all aspects of the club, because at the end of the day, this is the first impression, or one of the first impressions that you have on the club and the club has on you. All right, so I don't know if that makes any sense, but again, as a friend of the club, you're not really exposed to a lot of the club life stuff, because club life is, we keep outsiders really in the dark about certain things related to the club. But as a hang around, you learn a tiny little bit more about what it is to be in the club. So, and again, that stage as well can vary in time. You could be a hang around up to a year if you think about it, or especially in one of those dominant clubs. And again, you don't have to make it to prospect, because the next level from that is becoming a prospect. You don't have to get to that level. Really at the end of the day, it's just really like a first impression from the club to you, and you to the club, to see if you guys are a good fit, to see if the club's ideals or things that we follow are in line with your beliefs and your whatever. So that is really the first basic step. Now, after you've put in some time, and again, we spoke about this in the previous video, a lot of it is time related, right? So after you show the club that you really are interested, and really the only way you show that is by showing up and putting in your time. Once you do that, you get invited to become a prospect. You don't choose to become a prospect. It's not like you say, hey, Mr. Prez, that's it, I'm ready, I want to become a prospect now. Nope. So you are selected to become a prospect. So that itself is a big deal. And of course, it starts raining now. Right? So now you are invited to become a prospect, and this is when it really gets serious, because the next level after this is being a full patch member. Now, as a prospect, again, you got to put in your time, and it varies greatly in all the different clubs. Again, it could be up to and even more than a year as a prospect. So if you think about it, from beginning to just prospecting, you're already 2 years in. If you're joining one of those clubs that has that time requirement, so you're 2 years in, and you're not even a full patch member yet. All right. So as a prospect, this is where you show the club your potential. So think of it as like in sports, right? I'm really into baseball. So a pitching prospect is someone that has great potential to become a great pitcher, right? So maybe they have great college stats. Maybe maybe they're a left-handed pitcher and it's rare, and they're throwing 102. That's a great prospect. So somebody with great potential. So if you think of it like that, in any sport, a prospect is someone that has, or that someone else sees great potential in. So because you are selected to become a prospect, that means the club has seen something in you that they want, right? So it might be that you are, and again, this is a relationship, right? So you have to bring something to the table, and the club has to bring something to the table to you. If one of those two things don't align, then that club maybe not for you, or maybe you're not right for the club. But at the end of the day, it has to be a two-way street, right? So if the club sees something in you, and it could be something as simple as great brotherhood, or you might be I don't know, maybe you have great leadership qualities, and the club might see something in you in the future to becoming part of their executive board. I don't know, it could be anything, right? At least in my club, we really focus on quality over quantity. Not a lot of clubs do that. A lot of clubs have, you know, a quota to meet, and they're trying to get a lot of people because, you know, the more dues you guys pay, the more money the club has, and so on and so forth. My club isn't like that at all. So if if you have something to provide to the club and the club for you, this is the time to show it, right? This is the time when you show up to every event, because you are now a prospect, which means you are rocking either a something from the club already. You have either the prospect badge, or, you know, in my club we rock the New York rocker and the MC. You know, we have a 3-piece patch, but you don't get those patches until you earn them. But you are rocking some type of flashers from the club already, so you represent the club as a prospect, which is very important for you guys to remember. So as a prospect, even though you're not a full patch member, you represent the club. If you mess up, if you're in an event and you just showcase the club in a negative light, you best believe you will not be a prospect much longer. Because at the end of the day, you're representing the club, and on top of that, the club wants to bring in and attract potential new prospects. So if you're a prospect that's going to an event and just getting hammered, what kind of image are we showcasing? You know, and as a for other future prospects, right? So that's not something we like, at least in my club again. So this is the time as a prospect to show what you're made of. And again, it could be up to a year or even longer. So you're in there for the long run, all right? Now, just as you were selected to become a prospect, you are then voted in to become a full patch member. And again, I say this again and again, you don't decide when you want to become a full patch member. You don't decide when you want to become a prospect either. The club decides. All right, so it might be never. You might make it to prospect, and then that's it. You're done because of something that happened, or, you know, it just didn't work out. You know, you might be in the hang-around stage, and you never make it to prospect. So it is what it is, right? So again, these stages are set up to really wean out the people that just really want to patch, and the people that really want to join a brotherhood. And at the end of the day, guys, that's really all there is to it, right? So let me just recap the stages again. You become a friend of the club. Woo! Let's go, baby. So friend of the club is the first stage. Second stage is the hang-around stage, which, you know, could be some time. After that, you get selected to become a prospect. So then you're prospecting for the club. And then after you do your time as a prospect, you get selected again and voted in to being a full patch member, which is when you get all your rockers, all your flashers, all your stuff for your cut, and you are officially a full patch member of an MC motorcycle club. Alright guys, that's pretty much all I had for this video. If you have any questions about MC life, or any questions in general about my bike, about me, about whatever, just make sure you comment that below. If you like these type of videos, make sure you give it a thumbs up, because I'm actually enjoying making these kind of videos. And last but not least, if you have not subscribed already, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Make sure you also turn on notifications, because if I upload, you will not see them. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Later.